Hey everyone, this is my first time going live on my desktop, and I'm trying to find the share link so that I can share. Oh, there it is. Share your live. So I can share it on Instagram. Some people wanted to come to this session. So the session, well, my name is Nomiki. I'm a founder of a company called Theanna, and I help more women build tech companies from the ground up. And this live session is me just building in public. I like to build in public and um, learn in real time. And what I'm doing today is I've set an hour aside for me to use my product to help me find 100 software partners that I can add into Theanna. That was my goal, is the end of year to have 100 partners. And I need to do outreach to get discounts so that the founders have more benefits inside our platform. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to learn in real time too. I've done some outreach before, but not a ton. I'm just sending this link to Instagram for the people who wanted to join. So one second, we'll just get started. All right. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. I'm going to log in, and then I have an idea of what tools I want to use. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Okay, let me move this over. By the way, finally, TikTok has the desktop application that you can use for going live. It wasn't existing for a really long time. Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming in today. I'll do my best to look at the chat as we go through this process. All right, so the first thing I need to do is look at I need to find the partners. And so I used one of Theanna's GPTs to do this already. Theanna knows everything about me and my company. I also need to figure out what tool I'm going to use. Maybe it's Seamless AI or Apollo to find email addresses. And I need to generate a document that I can use to track my outreach. I don't have a CRM. I do have a CRM tool. I use HubSpot, but I'm not like versed enough where I want to use it for this. Maybe after it's working better, or like, I don't know, maybe after I figure out how to use freaking HubSpot to the best of its abilities, then I'll use it. But I think it'll take me more time to figure out how to use it great than for me to just kind of work in progress right now. All right. So I'm in Theanna. And Theanna is comprised of GPTs based on your business. And the way that it works is that it compounds knowledge. We launched the AI back in September. So a lot of these different GPTs are from earlier on when I was building, and the information compounds on the different tasks. So, like, the way Theanna works is we give you milestones that are generated by your business, and then we are weighting the outputs versus memory so that it gives you better outputs at the end of the day. Our job is to reduce the amount of time that you're spending so that you can get results. So although there are 600 GPTs tailored to you in Theanna, they're not all meant to just be chatting with all the time. It's really to section off your knowledge and allowing us to leverage those pieces of information to give you better results down the road. Anyway, if you ever have any questions about Theanna, I can answer them. But right now we're gonna get into the weeds of it. All right. So I started this a little bit last night before I got exhausted, and I'm trying to remember which one I was in. I believe I was in optimizing the MVP. No, this is feedback. Where was I working? Let's find out. And this is something that right now we have the search. I think it was optimize revenue. I believe it's in grow. This is something that we are working on to improve Yep, it's available right now for founders to use. It's in the link in my bio. It's not a free tool, candidly. It's $99 a month because it comes with the community, the traction board, and everything that goes into that too. But yeah, any woman right now can join our product for sure. All right, here's what I'm doing right now. I am trying to remember where the F I made this list. And this was later on midnight before, maybe it was improved product features. Yep, found it. Okay. Gather feature requests. So in Theanna, for context, I'm going to open another window. Something I just got some kind of, you're alive is not eligible for recommendation. That's fine. In Theanna, we have this connect portion, which has partners, and there's perks and discounts from our partners in Theanna. I want to get to 100 by the end of the year, but now I'm like, no, let's just see if we can do it by the end of the quarter. These are partners that work with Theanna that give you discounts, like Panda Doc, 50% off your first year. Lovable, get your first $100 in credits. Mobbin is a design platform. You get the point. And I want to get to 100 of these by the end of the quarter. And so I'm going to use Theanna to help me do some outreach, because really it shouldn't be that hard to do. It's really just takes so much time. And I've been, what is it, like dilly-dallying, the term that my mother-in-law uses, dilly-dallying on executing, because I've been so busy on other things. So this is what I did last night when I was working in it. I basically said, hey, I want to expand the partner section. And I told Theanna what I'm trying to do. Can you help me generate an email template based on everything you know? And remember, Theanna already knows everything about me and everything that I've done. So it came up with a partner outreach thing. And then I was like, 20 to 30%. No, I want it to be higher. Because when you ask for something lower, you're likely to get something lower. So when you are asking for something and you're trying to do a partnership or discount, it's always best to ask for something like that's they're likely to say no to, because then you'll meet them in the middle. This is at least in my experience. So if you typically, I can say, I want 50% off depending on what I'm talking about, or can you give me a month free, a year free? I'm a bootstrap founder. You can lean into that. And software specifically, what you'll find are all these tools that are venture backed, mostly the ones that are venture backed. They care more about getting more users to then grow their retention after. They are less inclined to be like, yeah, make me pay right now. And that's because in venture, they don't have a bootstrap mentality. They're thinking about a bigger game. And free users are often just as valuable for a venture-backed company than paid users are. But I come from a bootstrap mentality, and that every dollar, every cent counts. So when you're asking for discounts, ask for higher discounts. Just ask for the higher one so that you have, even if you don't think you're going to get it, because then you'll get a bigger discount. And I just want to look over here and see. Also, everyone, thank you for being here today. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'm just trying to make sure that I can moderate it, and I think I can. Okay, cool. All right, so I had it make some updates. Also, Theanna's trained on startups, which means that when it's asking me when I asked it to make this email, it's short, succinct, to the point. So to outreach to partners for a discount, you have to tell them, what are you going to get out of this? What makes you want to get us a discount? Well, one, you're going to get a direct access to hundreds of founders that you'd otherwise not have access to. I'm giving you a free channel of opportunity to get more leads for your business. There are co-marketing opportunities. So you don't even have to pay me to do this. I'm not even asking for money. I'm asking to serve my audience. How do I help them? And I will give you free marketing. I have thousands in my newsletter. I'll put your brand in my newsletter. You'll get visibility, and they care about those things. You'll also be able to understand referral tracking. So I say that because in the events over here, the offers, these are links that are referral links. So for example, HubSpot's link, you can see it's coming from me. In the header, I think you guys can see this up here. But those are important because then it allows them to track where their leads are coming from. And all of my founders are high quality leads. They're looking for this stuff. So I want them to see that there's value. And then they'll get featured placement in our partner directory, AKA visibility. Big brand visibility. Customer.io was one of our first partners, and they were like, thank you. This is amazing. So you've sent us so many people. I use their tool. I love their tool. And because of that, they put me on a webinar with 3 other amazing women founders. And they were just so grateful because I helped them get their business. And I also helped founders get a year free of an email tool. So if you're trying to go the partner route and think about things like this, this is the way to go, is make sure they understand the value. I have a pretty strict rule in that I don't take affiliate fees from anyone. I just don't believe in that at this stage for the companies that I'm helping. I think, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right. I want to help more women get ahead. So if I get the option, people will say, do you want an affiliate fee or do you want a discount? I always ask for the discount. Like, give me the thing that's going to benefit the most people right now, because me making $20 off of an affiliate is not valuable enough for me to be like, I want that. And I'm going to use that as a scaling strategy. So 90% off, $100,000 off, you get the point. All right. So what you get, make sure they understand the value. This is in any type of partnership, right? And then we're saying, here's what we're asking. I like to be very succinct in my emails. People do not have time to be reading emails. 11 seconds on average is what I've heard, that they're scanning it before they delete it or remove it. In order to get that 11 seconds though, guess what? You have to have a badass subject line. If your subject line is weak, they're not going to open it. So you need to make sure they understand the value immediately in the subject line, or else you're not even going to get this opportunity. So the last thing you want to do is get them to open and have a high open rate, and then give them 12 paragraphs telling your life story of why you're like the best person for them to partner with. You have to be to the point, succinct, respectful of their time, show them why they should connect with you, and just be on point as fast as you can to get a result. There's a tool I use called Yesware. Oh my gosh, sorry you guys are seeing my whole email, but it's a hot mess express right now. I'm an inbox 0 girly, and this is a mess. 80, I have anxiety even looking at this. Anyway, the reason I'm here is because I pay for this like old ass tool called Yesware. I'll put it in the comment. Yesware. I pay $19 a month for it. Yesware.com. Let me see if that's what it is. Yep. It basically is it lives on top of your Gmail that tells people, that allows you to see who's opened it, read your emails, etc. Yay, Lovable's opening my email. We're doing a build-a-thon with them. And I want them to respond. So this will allow you to, one, see if people are opening your emails. I don't do automations because I think that they're tacky. Personally, I'm not scaling. I'm not an SDR. An SDR is a sales development representative, and I'm not calling them tacky. But as a founder of a very small company, that personal touch is really important. Having the one-on-one experience and being able to adapt your language to the person you're communicating with is really important at this stage. So I don't use any automated tools for my outreach. It all comes from me. Of course, I have a template, as you see, but I do all the one-on-one information that I respond, etc. And I also do not schedule. So if I was going to write an email and using Yesware, you can schedule it. I don't do any of that. You're going to probably think this is crazy, but even if I have an idea, I'm a night owl. If I'm like 1 a.m. and I'm working on something and I have an idea, I will not even wait till 8 or 9 a.m. the next day to send it. I literally will just send it at 1 a.m. You will be shocked at how many people respond and other night owls that are up and also thinking about business, I have found that my reply rates and conversions in general are because I'm like just on the fly, responding and emailing and talking to people. This is also the same concept with outreach. Like I had this idea with, I'm going to show you my LinkedIn. I had, let's find her name, Elena Verna. And if you don't know her, she is the head of growth at Lovable. And I watched her. It was 6:42 on a Thursday night. We just drove 3.5 hours from Columbus to Youngstown, Ohio, with 4 kids in the back to go see my in-laws for that weekend for Christmas. And I was on the way there. I was listening to her podcast with Lenny Rachitsky, which was excellent. Lenny Rachitsky and Elena Verna. Podcast was so good. It was so good. Highly recommend. I put it in the chat. And halfway through it, we got to my in-laws house and I'm sitting in the front seat and we parked and my husband's like, are you going to get out of the car? I was like, no, I'm not. 1 second. I need 1 second. And the reason why I needed 1 second was because I had to send this message. And so raw that I'm like, I've been watching your journey. I'm so inspired. I just listened to this. I know women would just die to be a part of this. She responded immediately and now we're scheduling and working. That's why I wanted them to respond to my email. And it was on the fly in the car. It just came to me in my head. It wasn't something that I planned, this laborious process to do outreach for. It was authentic. It came from like the heart. It was something that I really felt, that I'm like, I just would die to have this session with her. And I know every founder would too. And those are the ones, those outreaches tend to do the best. I know this is not me showing you the exact process of everything, but I think all these nuances are really helpful in getting better results in general. And I found that authenticity wins every single time. So, all right. So back to, by the way, if you ever have any questions, just send them in the chat. I'm here. I'm just kind of going on the fly of my process and doing this with you guys. So I created the subject line and then I was like, all right, great. Now I think I made one more edit. We have 200 plus. I think we have 212 founders. Let's look. Just because now I want to know. Let's check this out. 209 founders, which is kind of crazy and amazing. And so I wanted it to correct that. I don't want to ever give false information. Never lie in your emails. Always be truthful, and make sure that, because they will find out and no one likes a liar. So anyway, I had them edit that to say 200 plus early stage women tech founders in a growing community from idea to a million. This is exactly who we are. This is the opportunity. Our founders are consistently asking for discounts on essential tools like yours. This is also true. People are asking me for discounts all the time, and it's my job to deliver. For example, Loom. I want one. They won't give me one. I'm like, come on. Replic's another AI development tool. I've reached out several times. I've yet to get them a response. I'm trying to get them to respond. And so this is truthful. People want discounts because they're trying to figure out if their company can be something, right? And they want to do it without spending a ton of money. Pardon my French. All right. Then it added this thing called social proof, and I asked it to remove it. I don't want that. I also wanted to remove case studies. It said that we would do a case study here in the marketing. I'm not doing a case study on every single one. I don't have the bandwidth. So I don't want to lie. So I just removed it. And so this is where I was like, all right, I feel good about this. Now, after I made this thread, I was like, okay, great. Now give me a list of 100 software tools that startup founders need that I can reach out to. Okay. It gave me 100. And immediately I looked through it. I'm like, this is a great list. I'm using all of these tools. Every tool that I am using is already in this list. Perfect. And then this is where I got tired and went to bed. And so that's why we're here today. It did give me a challenge and said, pick 10 from this list and send the partner email. But that's where I said, no, today I'm actually just going to do it. I think I made a task or a note. So in Theanna, you can make tasks and notes based on all the responses. And when you do that, it saves to your database so that it knows it's something that you want to remember, a task that you want to do. And we're building new features so that you have more visibility onto all of those outside of just the GPTs. But I asked it to save the email because I wanted to remember what this email was, because I really liked it and how it was structured. So you can do that in Theanna too. You can save it, delete it, all the things. Same thing with file uploads and tasks. I don't have any files right now, but when I create an Excel document to track everything in Google Drive, I will sync it here. Hey, Helen, she started populating this week. Amazing. So I was really happy with this. Now, this is where I fell asleep last night. I said, time to go to bed because this is going to take a lot of effort. And this is what I wanted to start. I'm so glad to hear that, Pooja. Thank you. And so we're going to learn in real time. I have never done like mass outbound reach. I've only done like one-on-one as I am in the moment and I'm feeling about it. But my husband is in B2B tech sales, and thank the Lord for that, because he's taught me so much over the course of the past 3 years about building prospect lists, how to email, when to email, how long emails should be, how short they should be, like how to track them, how to read responses, all the things, how to get emails, even the tactical things, how to create GPTs around like reading emails and prompting responses and all the things. Pooja's asking, have you considered doing like a survey at the beginning to like identify where the business is at and which the modules would be helpful for them? So when you come into the platform, we onboard you and we ask you where you're at. And so the idea phase is pre-revenue, launches up to 10K MRR. Based on that, we put you in the bucket. We are bucketing you based on revenue. And then those modules are tailored to where you're at. Because even if you have a product, if you have a product and customers but are still making no money, we still think that you're pre-revenue and idea phase, and we don't put you in the launch. It's mainly because we want to make sure that you are targeting the right people and you're actually getting those first paying customers. So we automatically do that using our system. Thanks, Helen. I agree. After that, he was like, how can I improve? I was like, next time, let's do more examples. And then I had like 4 other ideas for him. So maybe we'll get Jim to come back out of the claw office for another session. Okay, so I woke up this morning and I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create an Excel sheet, a Google sheet. Google Drive is an integration in our platform, but right now it's down because we had to get a verification. So hopefully by Monday that's going to be live. I'm going to, let's see if this will allow me to copy paste. Perfect. All right. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to copy and paste all of these. You know what? Hold on. Wait, I love this list, but I want the full 100 and I only want the title of the software. I don't want the number or the description. That way I can just copy and paste it. And I'm going to delete this. Let's see. Don't let me down, Theanna. Oh, I fucking love you. All right. Perfect. So, has anyone used a tool like Apollo or Seamless? Seamless AI is actually, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Seamless AI is actually from Columbus. The founder is Brandon Bornison, I think is his name. Let me look. Now it's going to bother me. Bornanson. If that was a tech bro, if you ever saw one. But he's a good dude. And he founded this company called Seamless, which is a ridiculously large company now here local in Columbus, Ohio. And they do sourcing. I believe I have a free I believe I have a free account. I don't pay for this shit. So let's find out if I still have one or not. No, let's see. If not, I'm going to try Apollo because I do think I have a free account with one of them. No, I don't. Damn it. Okay, let's go to Apollo. Apollo, for fun fact, got banned from LinkedIn because they scrape information from LinkedIn. They abused the LinkedIn APIs to the point where they got banned completely. Now their account literally on LinkedIn, let's go look. I'm pretty sure it's Apollo AI. They deleted it. Everything was like a whole thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's not it. Apollo. Yeah, look, it's gone. It's gone. It's completely gone. They were abusing the APIs, and because they were doing that, they're in dark mode. All right, so because they were doing that, they got shut down, and now their business. I would love to know how much revenue they lost. But the reason I have a free account with them is because if you go here on the far left, it says people. And you can search for specific people that you're looking to find information from, or you can go to companies and you can search for specific companies. So the way that I like to do it is I pair these tools next to LinkedIn. And what I'm going to do here is, let's use one that I think, Linear. I use Linear every day, and I really want a discount to Linear. It's cheap actually, so it's not even that big of a deal. You can start for free, but I'm going to teach you how to do this process. So first, I'm going to go to Linear. They're large. They also had an amazing podcast, by the way, on it's called First Round Capital. First Round Review, Apple In Depth. Okay, it's called In Depth. Linear on In Depth podcast. This is an excellent episode. Oh, it's so flipping good. So they are First Round Capital is one of the biggest.
I find that startups sometimes or founders make the mistake of trying to emulate the other companies. You should almost do the opposite what all the other players in your domain are doing.
For today's episode, I'm really excited to sit down with Kari Saarinen. He's the CEO and co-founder of Linear, a platform for planning and building products that's become the tool of choice for companies like OpenAI, Ramp, and Brex.
Almost everyone said that they hate when these tools are slow. That made us think, like, what if we can solve the speed issue? What if we can build?
Okay, I'm going to get sucked because I love the episode so much. But here's the episode. I just put it in the YouTube link. It's such an excellent. It's just, you need to listen to it. It's such an excellent session. Lenny Rachitsky and In Depth podcasts are my favorite podcasts on startups in general. And the other one is Startups for the Rest of Us is another good one. Startups for the Rest of Us. Excellent. Those three are my favorite. So anyway, Linear is a tool that we manage. I'll show it to you so you understand more context. The tool that we manage all of our product roadmaps. And I have 3 engineers on my team. One is full-time, like a W-2. And then I also have 2 that are contracts. And my job is to manage, Amish is my founding engineer, so he manages them, but I manage the company and all of the projects that we have going on. And so Linear allows you to manage all the projects that we have going on at one time. Right now we're in bug fixes and improvements, and we're trying to stabilize a lot of the things that are in the product. So you can see this is everything that you do. When you're building these out, you can see, I'll try to find a good one. We're building out the command center, and in the command center, my job is to create documentation for each one of these. So I create documents, I create imagery, I have to assign it. I also have to estimate like timing and how long it should take to develop and which developer should use it. So Linear is used for all of this. And then I also get a list of tickets that are assigned to me. So like assigned to me, and everything goes to me for review. In review, these are the things that are on my docket that we cannot push to prod until these things are fixed, and that I've tested them in the front end and to my best ability in the back end. If I can't test everything in the back end, I always have someone help me. So anyway, I'm telling you all this because this is the tool that we're looking at right now. It's really important for development teams, founders who are managing development teams. Early on, you're probably using Excel document or Trello boards or something easy, but this is my favorite tool to use, and it's so easy. And you can learn more about that in
I find
the
that startups
podcast.
sometimes or founders.
Anyway, all right. So now back to the why are we here? I keep diverting. I'm sorry, guys. So I go to Linear and I go to people, and my job is to find the partnerships person. The reason I like to use Linear first, LinkedIn first before I go to Apollo, is because of free credits. I want to be scrappy, so I don't want to leverage all my credits. I don't want to pay for this software. So I'm going to use LinkedIn to the best of my ability to figure out who is the person or second or third person that I should be reaching out to get a discount. So when I go to LinkedIn on Linear, first of all, why am I not following them? You go to people. So I went through Techstars. Sorry, I keep diverting, but I think this stuff is helpful. When I went through Techstars, we had someone who came to join us that used to work on the university side of LinkedIn. Many, many years, his job was to build out all the associations and had a big play in the universities. And he came to talk to the founders in the Techstars cohort about how to leverage the search of members to the best of your ability to find people that you know. One fun fact was that he said, if the best correlation you have to getting a response from people are people who went to your college or your university. And that is the highest connecting bond that you can have amongst any other pairing in LinkedIn. So if you go to one of these and I find someone that's at Miami of Ohio, like if I did this and then went to Miami, let's see, no one. But if there was, I would have a better chance reaching out to that person to getting a response, to getting in the door, than I would connecting anyone else cold. So just a hot tip there. All right, so now what am I looking for? Because there's no one there from Miami, I'm looking for people that run partnerships. Okay, not going to reach out to the COO. That makes no sense. Talent, no. Customer team, no. Finance, recruiting, all of that is no. So the next people that I would reach out to, let's look. Maybe sales. Let's look. Head of sales, customer team. Let's look at Alexandra. And now I would like to reach out to women because it resonates. My mission resonates with women. They get it. So they're more likely to be like, all right, let's help. I found that in my experiences. And so find people that you think are going to relate. Maybe it's not their gender. Maybe it's their background. Maybe they have the similar background that you did, or they went to the same school or something like that. And it looks like I have 7 mutual connections. I'm going to see if, look who's a mutual connection. Our founding engineer. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go send a note. Phil, I know Phil. He came to speak to Theanna. He's head of enterprise innovation at Zapier. So I know Rory. I know Lee. He's here in Ohio. But let me so what I'm going to do before I do any messages, I'm going to send Amish a message. Hey, Amish. I'm doing some outreach for partnerships. Do you know this person personally? Because oftentimes, even though you're connected, She works at Linear, and I'm trying to get a discount from them to have in Theanna. What you'll find is that people don't always, like the connections, they don't always know people. Like I have all these people in my network, 130. I don't know any of these people. And so they just sit there because I don't want my data to get skewed because people ask me for introductions all the time. I'm like, well, I don't actually know you. I mean, this person, Geely, I'm actually going to accept her because I just saw this because she of the whole Riverside thing I just did. But anyway, I think the reason I'm telling you that is because connections don't actually mean that people know each other anymore. It used to back in the day in 2009 when I first joined, it was really like that, but it's not anymore. So back to the drawing board. I think what I'm going to do is figure out, well, does Alexandra know someone? Can I get an introduction, or can I send her an introduction, an email? So there's two things that you can do depending on what you're best at and what your engagement is like. I am highly engaged on LinkedIn. So me sending a LinkedIn outreach or DM is easy to do, and probably easier for me than it is to just send a cold email. But what I like to do, and this is a lot of work for every single one, but I like to find out, are they active? Because if they're not active and I'm active, there's no chance they're going to respond. Like it's minimal. So I'm trying to leverage the data that I have at my disposal to figure out, will this person actually respond? And based on what I'm seeing, this person, she reposted this a month ago. She's not active. Let's see about her comments. Maybe she comments a lot. 3 months ago, no. So like this person is completely inactive. But she's been, let's see how long she's been there. She's AE, so she's been there almost 3 years. So I think it's safe to say, like, okay, let's reach out to Alexandra. Ideally, I get a response from Amish, and he would say, yes, I know her. Let me do a DM. But we're, for the sake of learning here, we're not going to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is show you the next step. If you decided that an email was easier for you than you doing a cold DM, you would come in here and you would search for either the person or the company. I'm going to search the company, linear.app, and we're going to search people. So I dived in. And what was her name? Alexandra Hughes. I pasted that here in the search. And I'm going to hit enter. And there she is. And so for the sake of her privacy, I'm not going to click on this. But what you do is that you click on this person's email and or phone so that you can leverage it. So I'm going to need 8 credits to access the phone number, and email is free. If you're into cold calling, which I highly recommend everyone be into cold calling, to call that person and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do next week, or maybe after we get off this live. But cold calls are a practice back in the day that used to be like the sole thing, but then people all got afraid of cold calling and then they stopped doing it and never went to email because they were hiding behind a screen. But now because everyone hides behind a screen and everyone's using AI slop, cold calling's coming back. So doing the authentic things that used to work back in the day are now things that are working again, or they never stopped working, but the pattern is coming back, if that makes sense. So this is what I'm going to do for 100 companies. And my job is to find out if I can get discounts for all of these companies for the Theanna founders. And that's my process. Who has questions? Are there any questions? Was this helpful? I don't even know who's here. Let's see. I see people chatting, but I don't see. This is my first time using the desktop app to share. Super helpful, Helen. You're the best. Yeah. So this is how I would go about this process. And if you ever have any questions about it, let me know. But that's it. I just wanted to share a little bit about what I'm up to and what I'm working on today. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for coming in. And if you guys want to see more of this behind the scenes stuff, let me know and I can just come on and do this every Friday. It's actually therapeutic. And it helps me think with clarity of like, why am I doing something? And is it important enough for me to do it that I spend the hour like diving in? So have an awesome weekend, everyone. Thanks for showing up and I'll see y'all later. Bye. Amazing, Pooja. I got you. All right. See you later, everyone.